Hi everyone, I'm Zuzka, the Craftsy Penguin. Welcome back to another video from me. This is going to be Craftsy update and a little bit of a YouTube channel update maybe. And just generally chatting about the stuff that happened lately. I've been quite busy. But also, as I mentioned last time, and Elwin was right in the comments, kinda exhausted by the full-time job, you know, and everything, so sometimes just plain staring into the void or at a video. Sometimes not even that. Sometimes it's just everything too much, but yesterday I managed to finish two things. It was just because I was staying at home with a kiddo who was kind of sick but getting out of it. Today he's already at the kindergarten, so he's alright now, but we kept him home for a few days more after the illness, you know, to get better. So yesterday I managed to finish the friendship bracelet that I've probably shown you before. So here it is. You're gonna try to make the camera focus on it. Yeah, nice. So originally I only made 5 of these diamonds, and then my friends persuaded me to make 6 of them, so I did that, and I did twisted ties at the ends, but for now I left the tails uncut because I want to measure it on someone who has thicker wrists than I have, because mine are pretty small, like 14-15 centimeters around, so I'm usually okay with smaller bracelets, but then many people can't use those, and I don't really have a customer or buyer for this, but maybe it's gonna get to someone, so I'll maybe cut this when we know who it's going to. So that was one finished thing, and the other I took it into my hands and I told to myself I'll finish it. Jad told me her long cat didn't need to be 1 meter long, but just somewhere between 70 and 90 centimeters, so about 80, you know, 85, something like that. And I managed to do the rest of the body of the cat and then do the decoration on the long cat, which is made out of glow-in-the-dark chenille yarn, and she wanted a zigzag on the back of the cat. So ladies and gentlemen and all the other people around, this is the long cat in its final form. It is so big, it's so long, and it's so freaking funny. It's a log, it's a kalabasa. And I haven't tried the glow in the dark on this one, but I know it glows in the dark in this yellowish greenish color, so it's gonna be fun when it's, you know, at Jud's place at night glowing. So she wanted the 2 colored eyes, the dichromic eyes, and she wanted a small tail on that. So the long cat is finished and it's really funny. And embroidering, you know, the zigzag was not as easy. It's 3 rows of double the yarn. It kept showing, and it still shows tiny bits of, you know, gaps in the zigzag, but we'll see how it looks after it's been used a bit, because the crochet toys, the amigurumis, usually after some use kind of form into their final shape. So for now she looks a bit wonky, and that might even out with use, so she's gonna get cuddled and we'll see after that. So those are the 2 finished objects that I have for now. and I'll just put her in this bag here. Yeah, okay. And the other projects have been stalling a bit. The cardigan for my mom is still just a vest. And I promised a video about the construction of this, and I want to do that, but for that I need to, you know, add the color, add the sleeves and document it. In the process I already did a small bit, you know, showing off this thing as it is, and I'm ready to make at least part of that video, so we'll see about that. Also, I thought about making series of like sampler tutorial videos, shortish videos of the different kinds of stitches that I've used in this cardigan. So maybe if you're interested in that, let me know if I should be making a series of shortish video about the patterns in this one. I've taken out at least the part of that blue cardigan that I am making for myself, but haven't progressed on since the end of October, I think. So this is how it looks for now, and to be fair, it's already enough for the back part from the arm size down, because I don't want it to be too long. So I should be making the arm size now, and probably maybe some shaping on the neck in the back. So we'll see about that, but it's a lot of work. I'm not looking forward to that. So I was working on something else. I haven't touched the Kalinda shawl since the last time, I believe. I'll show you how it looks now. But I think you've seen this. This is how the Kalinda shawl looks for now. It's already quite a nice shawlette, I'd say. And as I said, I love the structure of it, the ridges and all of that. But we are at the color change to the purple. There is the first hint of purple on the yarn cake. So this is going to progress as well. I'm looking forward to it, but I've been working on the other shawl, on the virus shawl, and that had grown quite a bit. We are not at the half point, but we are pretty close, because with this one, with this one, it's pretty easy to see where the half point is, because that's where the blue ends and the pink begins. So we are at the last color variation with the blue, with just one blue string in the purple, and the shawl looks like this for now. So it's pretty nice, I'd say. I really like the pattern. It's so easy. And last time I was talking about the difference in the level of not intricacy of the patterns, because both the Kalinda and the virus shawl have quite an easy 4-row repeat in them, but with the virus you're just building the rows one on the other, and it's just double crochets and chains, and yeah, I mean maybe a single, yeah, you're catching the chains with a single crochet, but that's the easy part. With the Kalinda you need to count, as I mentioned, in each row the count of the top section is different, and then each of those bubbles, those leaves, is made out of single, half double, double and treble crochet, and then the same going down. So you need to think about every one of the stitches and chains in between them and all of that. So those two rows that are just double crochets and back post double crochets. Thank you, Kitty. That's the kitty ripping her carton box. Those two rows of double crochets, those are the relaxing part, and then the leaf pattern, two rows are all thinking and remembering which stitch is it at that point. So that's why the virus is easier sort of to memorize and to just mindlessly go and crochet along with, you know, something in the background or something like that. So that's the crochet and those kinds of fiber arts. And I have to say, with the sewing, I said I would make a mock-up for the cozy knitted dress out of old knit bed sheets before doing it out of the fabric that I have for the knit dress. And I tried to cut out a piece of the pattern out of those old knit bed sheets, and it was a disaster. Those bed sheets are, you know, stretched too thin, distorted in all directions, and not as sturdy as the final fabric, not with the same amount of stretch as the final fabric. So I tried it. The cutting went awfully wrong. I managed to cut out one piece. I tried to cut out a second one. It just didn't work. I felt like my ability to use scissors had disappeared somehow, and I was so frustrated. So I again tossed it aside, and then a few days after that I just used the floor space here in our living room, placed all of those final fabrics on the ground, you know, folded in double layer because all of the pattern pieces are twice used in the pattern. So I did that, and I placed the pattern pieces, you know, the paper ones, the copies that I made, on them to see how they're gonna fit on the fabric. I realized that I need to, you know, follow the, it's not the nap of the fabric, but the direction of, it's not the weave, since they're knit. But, you know, knit has these sort of ribs, and you need to go with the ribs. So I placed the patterns, and I saw that I'm able to get one full-length dress out of it with short sleeves, and then maybe even one shorter one, not the shortest variation that is on the envelope. I'll show you. It's this pattern, and there are, well, you can kind of see it on here, but there are variations in length in here and variations in length of the sleeves. So I'm able to make one long one with short sleeves and one in the D length, which is this one. Oops, we have it all too light. Yeah, this length. So I still need to measure on myself the length of the proposed finished garment, how where it's gonna hit on me, on my legs. So I'll see about that, but I'm able to make at least that. So if I find out that the shorter length is better for me, I can totally do that, and I can treat sort of one of those dresses as a mock-up. And it's probably too brave to do that because my skills are really at a total beginner level with this, but I think I can do that because otherwise I need to buy another knit fabric for the mock-up, and my funds for this are not really high, or my funds are okay, I have to say, since going back to full-time, you know, and all of that, but I don't want to spend like several hundred crowns on a piece of fabric to just try making the dress and, I don't know, maybe being able to use it anyways after that, because wearable mock-ups are a thing. And I checked that even the cheaper fabrics of this kind are not that cheap. So I'll probably treat one of the dresses, as a mock-up, and we'll see. I'll make it in the size that I've cut out. I have the information that it's probably bigger than I need it to be. So if anything happens, I should be able to, pinch it out, make it smaller, and it should fit me. It shouldn't be too small, so that it wouldn't be fixable, So we'll see about that. You can see that I'm really unsure about it, and I also need a lot of alone time to make this, because I don't want my kiddos, to be running around while I'm cutting stuff out on the ground, because I don't have a large cutting table, and my back is gonna hurt, my legs are gonna hurt, and I'm gonna get frustrated. I can see that already. And I'm really afraid now that I'm not able to cut along the lines of the pattern and cut out the notches, in the right places and all of that. I need to gain some dexterity with the scissors while cutting out the stuff, so we'll see. I'm a bit nervous about this. Yeah. But, well, in the end, I need to try this. And if it fails, I will have the experience, I guess. We'll see. Okay, enough about that kind of craftsy stuff. The thing I wanted to talk about at the end of the video is that I have some footage ready from my walks around the city, looking at some houses, looking at some historic houses, and commenting, in a very popular or form, although my education is in the history of arts and architecture. But those videos and that footage that I made is made with my commentary in Czech language. So now, if you are a follower who would like to watch that and hear my commentary, but you don't speak Czech, you don't understand Czech, I think the automatic subtitles from YouTube should be enough to make you understand what I'm saying. If you are a Czech follower, thanks. I think this is gonna be interesting for you. I'm not sure if the theme, if the topic is interesting to all of you who are watching for the craftsy stuff, because this is completely different. And I was sort of debating if I should be making a new channel for this kind of content. But keeping to YouTube channels for now sounds like a horror story. And for my kind of attention deficiencies, it's not diagnosed, it's not ADHD probably, but I would struggle with that. So I will try to post those videos on this channel. They're gonna be in Czech. If they're interesting to you, please let me know. If it already sounds interesting to you, let me know in the comments of the video or through other means if you're a friend, and I'll see when I have them ready and edited, and yeah, well, we'll just see about those. If they catch and if they are, popular or something, I can do more. I found out that it's better done on days when it's not sunny and on days where there are no leaves on the trees. So if I'm gonna make more of those videos, I should make them now or after the summer is ended, so or at places where there are no trees, which in the city, yeah, there are places like that, quite a lot of them. So we'll see about that. It's gonna be kind of weird for me as well, because Of course, my speech is different in... My patterns of speech are different in Czech and in English, so it's gonna be weird listening to myself while editing, speaking Czech, and seeing myself, you know, acting a bit differently, probably, because I filmed this outside in public places, which also feels kind of weird, but I should get used to that if I'm making more of these videos. So we'll see about that. I'll try to edit one of those quite soon and post it, and I'll wait for your commentary to that and your reaction to that. So we'll see about that. For now, I'm really thankful to you that you decided to spend your time with me. Have a great time, everybody. Enjoy crafting, enjoy creating, and enjoy the colors. Goodbye.